In this video, you'll learn how to pick up stitches along the edge of your knitting. So here I have my swatch, and we're going to use this to pick up the stitches. Alright, so this is the cast on edge here. Okay, so this piece was worked up in this direction. If you're picking up stitches along the cast on edge, you're going to end up picking up an even number of stitches, or the same amount of stitches as you cast on. But if you're picking up along the side of your edge, as you would for a button band or the conundrum hat band, then you're going to actually not pick up as many stitches as there are along here. A good rule of thumb when you're picking up stitches, oftentimes a pattern will say pick up blank number of stitches evenly. Well, obviously if they list the number of stitches to pick up, then you're able to just divide it by the number of rows and figure out how many stitches you should pick up and how many you should skip. But if it doesn't say that, then what you should do is look at your gauge. For example, the gauge in this is 4 stitches in 6 rows equals 1 inch. So for every 6 rows of my knitting, I'm going to go ahead and pick up 4 stitches. So I do, probably in this instance, to make it even, I would pick up 2 stitches, skip 1, pick up 2 stitches, skip 1. That way it's going to look a lot more even along this edge. Alright, so to pick up stitches, what you need are just your 2 knitting needles, whatever it is you're picking up from, and then your yarn. Alright, so if we look along this edge, you can see that there is a row of knit stitches here. That's because this is the purl side around this center motif. Alright, so what I'm going to do is stick my needle in between these 2 stitches and pick up these 2 loops. That's the loops of the first knit stitch. Now I've picked them up with my right hand needle, and I'm going to go ahead and stick my left hand needle on top as if I was going to knit. Okay, and I'm going to wrap my yarn around my needle, and I'm going to go ahead and knit into that first stitch. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing into my next one. I'm going in and grabbing these 2 stitches here. The loops of the next stitch. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and knit that. Okay, now I'm going to skip 1 stitch and go into the next one and knit it. Okay, and see how I'm picking up the stitches here, and on the back side it almost creates like a seam. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up another one. And knit into it. Oops. Okay, and that is another stitch picked up. Okay, and you're going to go all the way along your knitting until you pick up the number of stitches that you need to pick up. Okay, and so this is actually going to be your first row of knitting, the one that you pick up and knit. So if I were to turn the work over and start working down the other side, I'm going to go and work on my wrong side. So in this instance, I'm purling all the way down. Okay, and now you can see how I've picked up stitches along this edge, and this allows me to work in a different direction. So for example, when I did this conundrum hat, I did the hat band first, so this is knit in this direction. It was joined here using the Kitchener stitch, and then to do the crown of the hat, I picked up along the top edge and knit up in this direction. So that's something that you can do when you pick up stitches. You're able to work in a different direction on your knitting. I hope you find this video helpful. This has been Alex Capshaw-Taylor with World Knit and Handspun.